Sir John, Lady Lorimer, on behalf of those assembled and of the people of the Isle of Man, I extend to you a very warm welcome. Although, Sir John, you are the 31st person to have the honour to hold the position of Lieutenant Governor, I can say with some confidence that you are the first such holder to have been recruited virtually. Whilst I, for one, cannot say as I look back on the interview process with any great affection or enthusiasm, I am, and I speak for the whole selection panel when I say this, absolutely delighted with the outcome of the process. The Isle of Man has been very fortunate over the years with those who have served as the Queen's representative on our shores, but in you, Sir John, we have a Lieutenant Governor designate who is firmly out of the top drawer. Indeed, when I discovered subsequently that you, Sir John, like me, are a long-term supporter of Leeds United Football Club, I knew for certain that the correct choice had been made. We are, I think both of us, however, somewhat perturbed at the uncertain start which Leeds have made to the current Premier League season, but feel equally sure that, as with your term of office, the best is yet to come. Your experience at the highest levels of the British Army, as well as both within Whitehall and internationally, will, I have no doubt, prove extremely beneficial to the Isle of Man as we collectively face the many challenges which no doubt will come upon us over the next 5 years. Sir John, you and your family have arrived on the island at a time when our sense of community is stronger than ever. We are not alone, of course, in having experienced an unprecedented recent past, but it has been a time which has shown the island at its most resilient and compassionate best. You and your family are truly most welcome to our beautiful island home. You will, I hope, have time over the next 5 years to make friends, enjoy our natural environment, our unique and proud heritage, and the many cultural activities that we have to offer. Sir John, Lady Lorimer, welcome to the Isle of Man.
Your Honour, Mr. President, Captain Kelly, ladies and gentlemen, Fast am I. It's wonderful to be here, and I can't tell you how much we've been looking forward to joining you here on the Isle of Man. We're in an interesting position at the moment. We're halfway through our 15th move in 27 years, with kit going everywhere. So the prospect of being in the same place for 5 years is hugely appealing to both of us and also to our family. The appointment, you mentioned the virtual process that we went through. To be here in reality is wonderful. I should just say it's just under a month since you said goodbye to our predecessors, to the Gosneys, and they did a marvellous job. They will be a tough act to follow, and I think from definitely from Philippa and my perspective, but I'm sure also from your perspective, we wish them the very best of luck as they go into what I think is now their final retirement, although one never knows with Sir Richard. I also would just like to say, pass on our very best wishes to the Chief Minister. That must have been a real shock to him and a real scare to him and to his wife and to the family. I sent him a note and said, please don't try and sneak back into your office, and I hear that he's already done that. So, but I wish him the very best of health and to get well soon. The appointment of Lieutenant Governor is hugely significant, and I, for one, looking forward hugely to engaging with the community, and you've already mentioned the importance of the community, but also being the Queen's representative on the island, and also to help promote the interests of the Isle of Man. We shall approach all our duties, whether they're constitutional, ceremonial, or community, with energy, with humility, with humour, but also with an overriding sense of responsibility for the appointment, this ancient appointment. So to everyone here, thank you very much indeed for meeting and greeting and welcoming us here to Government House. I should say that the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company did a fantastic job, and to thank them also for delivering us safely from Heysham today. So finally, thank you once again for welcoming us here today. We look forward immensely to the next 5 years. I know that it will be hugely exciting, but there is a slight sense of trepidation, I've got to say. This is new ground for both of us in more ways than one, but we're looking forward to it hugely, and to seeing everyone to be able to play our part within the community, to obviously be the actasy, the Queen's representative on the island, and also to promote the interests of the island. So thank you very much indeed. And I suppose I ought to say, Gura mai mura you. So thank you very much indeed. Questions.
What did you?
Sorry, so what's your
Paul
name?
Moulton from Isle of Man Television.
I've seen you on telly.
Hi. We'll be seeing it a lot. I just want to know what made you take a position, what you know about the Isle of Man before you came here.
It was absolutely determined when Philippa and I discussed leaving the army, and I'd spent nearly 40 years in the army, that wanted to do something completely different. I didn't want to do anything in military or security or defence or intelligence. Also, I wanted to do something completely different, and also we wanted to do something together. And the idea of moving away from England was hugely appealing. The more work I did on reading about the Isle of Man, the more fascinated I became. And there are some fantastic opportunities here for everyone, and we're looking forward hugely to all the things we can do in terms of engaging with the community, getting involved with outdoor activities of various descriptions, the sporting side, the cultural side, and meeting so many of the community. Everyone has been incredibly generous in welcoming us through letters and other ways. So we're just looking forward to Wednesday, the swearing in, and then going from there.
So virtual then, how did that all go? You hadn't been to the Isle of Man, you did it literally remotely.
Yes. I think it was probably as difficult my end as it was your end. And I think it's something that is interesting I've done a lot of interviews and been both sides, but you have a conversation on, if you do it virtually, it's almost like it's a ping pong. Ask a question, you hit the answer back, they ask another question. And I think it was better the second time around, because both sides had realised actually you've got to try and make it into a conversation to understand more about each other. And I think from my perspective anyway, I wasn't happy with my first interview. I was much happier with my second one.
How many were there, sir?
It was just a two. I don't think I should go into any more details.
I'm overstepping my mark. So John, sorry, Chris saw you from Manx Radio.
Chris, I did.
What do you think your background in the military will give you as going here?
I think one of the important aspects of being in the military is about people, and it's about working in a team. It's about communicating with others. It's about wrapping your arms around a diverse community and giving them a single purpose. And I think that that's something that I think is very important. And from my short time I've been on the Isle of Man, and from what I've heard, that community aspect is extremely important. So I think that's probably the most important aspect I bring from my military experience.
Me again? How do you find out about the job? Or is it like in the Times? Is it as traditional as that still?
It was announced in the Times. Somebody had informed me that it was coming up. So it was one of the options that we were considering right from the start when Philippa and I started talking about what does one do after 40 years in the army? And it seemed to me, it fitted. And the more research I did about the Isle of Man in terms of its history, its culture, its traditions, its unique nature in many ways. The TT, I'm a failed or a retired biker, and you know, what's not there to like when it in scallops and kippers? I mean, and so there were so many things. There's also, seriously, there is a long-standing connection with the military, whether it's HMS Manxman or the steam packet involved in Dunkirk, or RAF Derby, RAF Andres, and then of course the Manx regiment in the Second World War, and of course there are a lot of Manx men and Manx women who served in the British military. So there's a natural connection, and then you have all your cadets as well. So that connection was immediately apparent, and there was others as well. So the more research I did, the more sort of interested and desperate, I suppose, to be successful.